from the beginning. Your mic is on. Okay. It is. Hey, Journey. I guess we're starting over, but you know what? That's good for the people that come in late or they gotta go do chores and errands and everything else. So we'll just start over and, you know, get into it. Mm-mm. Okay. So everything's straight. Good, good. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear me. We're gonna start over. You know, I did a cute little Kill Bill setup for y'all, you know, for Halloween and everything. So, and it kind of fit. It fit with the vibe too. It fit with everything that's going on. So, you know, hopefully y'all like it. But yeah, I did a whole Kill Bill setup for y'all. But yeah, we'll just start over, and whoever just came in late, you know, I guess y'all can hear it. Funny, I was listening the other day, the other video, and saw you went live, so I hopped over here. You know what? And I try to make them, Jasmine. I try to make them 2 weeks long, or like at least a week and a half, because you might have to come back and like re-listen to your part or re-listen to certain parts just in case you know something happened. Just to remember, like, oh yeah, you know, I can't fool with this type of thing. You know, I need to go over here, blah blah blah. So I try to make it like a good chunk, at least about 2 weeks or at least a week and a half. Like this one's going to be November 13th to the 26th. So y'all can just, you know, come back and just see where the issue is, and then y'all, if you need to re-listen to it or just like to just do a check, you're good, you know. So I try to do that, and I do notice like it does seem like when I look at like how y'all respond to the videos, y'all actually like when they kind of like at least 2 weeks worth of information that y'all can keep rotating in and out to. Okay, so new moon in Scorpio. This will occur on the 13th. It'll be Scorpio in 20 degrees. People who will be hit the most will be water signs, which is Pisces and Cancer. Y'all will have the most technically benefic dynamic. Um, but let me see. You know what? I'll even give it to Earth signs, probably. But I'm gonna say Earth might struggle a little bit because y'all do have Pluto and Lilith in some of these dynamics, so y'all kind of got your own little bags, really. So I'm gonna go with, you know, possibly Pisces and Cancer for the win. You know, so if y'all have any predominant placements there in any of the fixed signs, so Scorpio and Taurus, obviously because they are 180 degrees from each other, so they're oppositional. So this is here, this is Scorpio, and this sign down here, right here, that is Taurus. They'll be right in the crosshairs. But Aquarius over here, if you have any predominant Aquarius placements here, and then Leo down here, if you have any predominant Leo placements, you'll be in the crossfire as well with dealing with these issues. So talked about Scorpio being a placement that rules excretion, elimination, and transformation. um Fire sign for the win. Look, for real, y'all were really ducking some stuff, but you know, but excretion, elimination, and transformation. And so it wants to remove anything that is unnecessary. And even when we deal with medical astrology, it rules placements that want to remove things, or it aids in removing things like the genitals, also the nose, anything that's detoxifying in the body. Scorpio kind of has a strong hold on these body parts that excrete or release things. It's releasatory, it wants to get rid of it. So this, and we look at the fixed stars, where we are in the progression of lunations or post the eclipse season. So post Libra eclipse that we talked about a few weeks ago, and the Taurus eclipse will be in 2 days. We're here in Scorpio, and it's wanting to release certain things. So we first had to balance things out, Then with the Taurus eclipse, we had to weigh out what we are going to keep. And now we're here with Scorpio with elimination. Something has got to go. And so we're here in the scales, because Scorpio has the scales. The claws are weighted. They both are considered the scales. And we have the south scale and the north scale. The south scale deals with loss, theft, betrayal, abuse, venereal disease, drowning, poisoning, anguish, revenge, and criminality. Not saying y'all gonna have all of that, or people gonna be criminals, or I'm not saying that, and I'm not here to scare people, because sometimes people be going to, like, worst case scenario. But this is an old technique, so they do have I guess you could say they really don't have like PC as a thing for them. So, but any type of loss or betrayal or things where we're not being true or honest to the integrity of something. The North Scale deals with honors, wealth, distinction, brilliant minds, success in sports, politics, war, religion, writing, tragedy, violence, and melancholy. Now notice the transition from the South Scale to the North Scale. These will be gifts or things that you would get if you can outrun, outmaneuver, and really handle South Scale things. And if you think about it on a logical standing, it makes sense. So like if you deal with loss, at some point you will come out with wealth, or there will be some type of melancholy, but you understand that you lost something. If you deal with betrayal or abuse, you might have to fight off some of these dynamics, and so then you would be good in sports, politics, or war, or you would have a brilliant mind to detect these things. Y'all get what we're saying? So you would be able to now some of these things are like melancholy or violence. Maybe you will be using violence to ward off some of these things as well, but you take the good with the bad. We also have the Serpentis star cluster. So we have regular Serpentis, which is considered the cursed star, mainly because it doesn't progress forward. There's no procession, but basically it rules tragedy and misfortune. But we also have Alpha Serpentis, which is considered dominant in a way, I guess you could say. It is success followed by a fall, suicide, insanity, accidents, success in war, politics, writing, problems in love, forgery, shipwreck, loss, earthquake. Again, don't mean you're going to have all of these things, but these are the general vibe of the new moon. And then at the highest degree of this cluster, the star with the highest degree point is Agena, which is good health, high morals, disillusion through love, success with the masses. So after going through all of this, you get to the highest point, which is Agena, and then all of a sudden you kind of like disillusioned. You could be a little jilted, but you understand the nature of man, and you understand the nature of relationships. Okay, so now we have what would be the opposition. What is the problem? Okay, so there's a little bit of problem. Usually in a new moon, there's everything is conjunct together, so there's some unity, but there is a little bit of a hiccup. The hiccup is Taurus, and so Taurus is the oppositional sign, and it deals with accumulation, abundance, and stability. It really deals with the rhythm of resources. Okay, so the problem really comes in is because Uranus is there, which is the ruler will be Aquarius, but the Uranus is there, and so what you can count on is that you can't count on anything. I know that sounds buck wild, but it is true. You can count on change. That's what you can count on. And Uranus wants new things. It wants new identity, freedom, and individuality. And this could be a bit of an issue, especially since Taurus by nature deals with an accumulation, abundance, and stability. So there's like a buildup of wanting something new or wanting change. And so this is where people will get into trouble about how they're going to do with their bitterness, wanting to deal with revenge, but also want to deal with new identities, and really one could argue certain forms of necromancy. I could see like spiritually like necromancy, like wanting to go back to how things were, but that don't exist. So like this is where we're doing spiritual necromancy, like because necromancy is you bringing up trying to make things alive that ain't alive. So like vampires, those things are over. So we can have a bit of an issue here. So Uranus is in a star called love of Raina, called love, and it rules love of knowledge, science, much travel, many changes, position of authority, accidents at sea, and drowning. Now, the good thing is that Uranus kind of mess with some of these type of things. So science, knowledge, travel, change. It's kind of good for, they both like, yeah, we want the same things. We're harmonious. Now, there's a little bit of like accumulation in abundance and stability that's kind of like, because again, Uranus is it rules arithmetic dynamics, or dynamics that stay out of the pulse or the normal flow of things. It moves away from the core, or away from where people are at their heart. So there's a little bit of hiccup, you know. Also, guys, just let me know if you can hear me. If you can't hear me or something's not working, just drop it in the chat. But there can be a little bit of a hiccup. And then it also conjuncts Zorak, which deals with melancholy, fear of death, suicidal tendencies. Again, not saying that anybody is going to be up here doing that to themselves or logging out of life, but what it can deal with is healthy dynamics with change and new identities, and where we could be struggling to accept that we're different now, and accept that relationships are different. Because remember, the last stream we did with the Taurus eclipse, it talked about change relationships, and some people are really not going to be having a great time with that. Change relationships to other people, or even change relationships with themselves. It's not going to go well. Some people are really not having a good time with that, you know, and it's unfortunate. I think that's something that I think everyone can relate to, about new experiences and new levels of being a human and not really vibing or meshing well with it. So then we get into Pisces, and Pisces is positively expected to both Taurus and to Scorpio. And so Pisces rules with acceptance, unity, and healing. Now, it can also be traps there, but it mostly deals with non-discrimination and non-borders. And so it can be quite healing and quite soothing to be here. So Pisces rules violence, honors, riches, the star of sorrow, literary and legal problems, and accidents. It also is in the near a star called Sheep, which deals with imprisonment, murder, suicide, drowning, and extreme misfortune. Now, for some people, thank you, Akeem. For some people, this is why Kill Bill is the spread for this week. Vengeance is on the menu. Baby, I'm coming back for you. Really tried it, and I'm really at the ratatata the whole setup. Like, I don't want to hear none of that. They're here for all the way. They might ready to drive into the ground. And you know what? Depending on your chart, that might be the move. I'm not going to argue with if that's the move, because some people have charts for that. But even being more honorable and more dignified can be a thing. You know, giving legal problems, or getting into accidents, or having people be into accidents, maybe getting people in prison. Someone goes to jail, you know, giving someone extreme misfortune. And depending where you have Neptune at, which we'll be getting into, I don't think I put it in a slide, but you know what, I would just quickly look it up real quick, just so y'all can know where y'all have Neptune at and where the healing part is. I'll just look that up real quick. But that might be on the menu, because it's been a rough 2 years, and you know, people really over it. You know, you can't keep doing me like that no more. Sorry. New year, new me. Now, some signs are not doing well, as y'all can see with some of the red lines. Some of the signs, they don't want to be new, and they don't want to be different. So I don't, prayers to those girls, prayers to them. But some people, they like, girl, I'm different now, because I'm ready to fight. Okay, so when we talk about Scorpio, we have the sun, the moon, and Mars in Scorpio. And when we have these themes here, the sun deals with vitality, vision, and heart. Now, the sun and Mars in this in these placements are more harmonious, because Scorpio, even the water signs, let me say this. When we talk about medical astrology, water signs sometimes don't always have the best vitality, which I mean, like, as far as in like energy or health. Now, certain things do tweak depending how certain stuff set up in your chart. Because I mean, I can use Floyd Mayweather as an example, because he is a Pisces, but he do have certain things in his chart that keep him at the top of his game. And honestly, realistically, like, as long as he stay really disciplined, his vitality will be, he doesn't have to rev up so hard to keep his vitality high, which he does. You know, he's known as one of the most disciplined boxers, you know, that people have seen. So it keeps his vitality high, so he doesn't have to work that hard to rev up because he is a water sign. There's some other signs that, you know, that have the vitality that's more, I guess you could say, tangible. They can just tap into it easier. Scorpio don't, it's a water sign, but it don't fall into this because they more like boiling water. I'm gonna be for real, they like scalding water, you know. So for them, the sun being here, it really ain't that bad because it's like bubbling water. So it deals with, the sun deals with vitality, vision, and who we are at our core. So this is passion, this is self-reliance, secrets, and financial security. That is who we are at our core. So any type of identities that are here, even dealing with secret identities, someone can have a secret identity. They can deal with being more passionate about who they are, or keeping who they are secret. Self-reliance, there could be certain issues with self-reliance or being more reliable. The moon is here in Scorpio. Now these two don't really get along. There's a little bit of issues because, again, it is boiling water, and the moon really likes more relaxing and soothing and cooler dynamics. And so this deals with the body, cycles, women, family, feelings, and sometimes even memory. So in these very intense placements, we can have intense memories coming back, intense things from the past, being very subjective, taxes, debts, insurance, inheritance, things deals with money and criminality, and cycles of crime, cycles of taxes, debt, and insurance issues, inheritance issues, issues with families, issues with our body. Maybe if you haven't been taking as good as care of your body, maybe all of that wear and tear is finally catching up. If you have money issues, maybe all of that wear and tear and money issues and dynamics with the public can be catching up. And it's funny y'all put DJ Envy on here with all of that, because he has a lot. I did look into some of the stuff. He has a lot of Taurus placements, and we're gearing up for a Taurus eclipse, and then this new moon right after is a Scorpio new moon. So honestly, these last 2 years been an issue. And then when someone said that he started this thing like at least 3 years ago, Bearman, like, it kind of fell in line with the eclipse season. But that's why I say, like, sometimes eclipses rev up fate or rev up people's destiny. So if you had a destiny of crime, like, maybe that supercharged it for him. I don't know. And I'm gonna be for real, I did look at his chart. He is going through like a midlife crisis. So I don't, because you actually, there's a part in your chart where it locks in for the midlife crisis. Some people it's easier. Some people, everything be wrong. Everything be wrong. They don't want to be married no more. They don't want to, everything be a problem. Everything is an issue. So, law-abiding citizen movie type-ish revenge. Exactly. And you know what? I never watched that movie, but that might not have been a bad one for this. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe next Halloween that might be a thing, because I might try to give y'all like notes that match the vibes. But definitely some Kill Bill energy out tonight, because people don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. Girl, we tired. We've dealt with your shenanigans, and we don't want to deal with it no more. And that's why I felt like it's interesting that y'all had DJ Envy on there, because I was looking at some of the people, you know, complaining about him, and they was like, look, he took my money. Like, I was looking at somebody's stuff, and he was like, my child died, and I tried to get the investment for my grandkids and all. I'm like, ooh, these people are not playing. They ready to rip every last little hair out your head. This is not the vibe. This is not the vibe. So y'all keep that in. This is why I said intense dynamics, intensity with families, debts, taxes, inheritance, insurance, investments. So you see how people coming back for inheritance. That money that man was talking about was supposed to go to his grandkids because his son died. You see that? That's what I'm saying. And so Mars deals with force, and Mars is the ruler of Scorpio. So it deals with force, action, and tools. And so people are more determined, and they're more stubborn now. There's more determination, and there's more stubbornness now. They're very fierce, and they are very ferocious. And in these placements, especially with the moon in Scorpio, before we get into Taurus real deeply, it gives a lot of emotionality, subjectivity, clinginess, Being very self-protective, and so we can see slights where there could be none. And also the feeling of lack or being barren or just not having enough. And so it's a dynamic of being nurtured versus nurturing others, and there's a issue with competing with others, being very quarrelsome and willful. And if people are nice or trying to avoid this very ferocious energy, it could put us in a dynamic where people could be sick because they're not expressing their anger, their ruthlessness, their selfishness, and their rage. And so some people could fall ill under here because they're not used to expressing very deep, ferocious dynamics. And honestly, usually when I see this in a chart, there could be an issue with Mars energy. Like the Mars could be weird, so expressing ferocity could be hard. Or there could be something in a chart where maybe the father is not there. I've seen that happen where sometimes they don't have a father figure or a figure that would deal with themes of ferocity. And so it does diminish how well they can display their anger and rage. And so we can have emotional movement issues. We can have people blushing a lot, nausea, fever, skin issues or skin eruptions, pimples, acne, boils, issues sometimes with pregnancy. We can also have thyroid issues. We also have the sun and Mars, which can speed up our metabolism, fever, and issues with elimination or detoxification organs, like we talked about before, because Scorpio deals with elimination and detoxifying. So there could be some issues with organs that naturally detoxify the body, because again, we're holding onto all this energy, this rage, this anger. You did this to me, and it can be a lot on the body, and the body does lock down and it refuses to release all of these things. So yeah, just really take it easy, but there can be a lot of dynamics like this. So like we talked before with Uranus and Taurus, there is some conflicting energy. It does help that it's in a fixed star, that they vibe with each other, but there could be some energy where they might not see eye to eye, because Taurus deals with values, possession, income, debt, food, and luxury. But it's usually less to do with debt, but mostly an accumulation of what you possess or what you naturally have. So Uranus deals with innovation, change, freedom, and surprises and enlightenment. And so where they could possibly get along is changes in how much possessions you have, how what you value, change in income, especially a positive income. But this can also give us enlightenment into what we possess, what we naturally have within ourselves. But this also gives us enlightenment around values and what we do value. What is luxury for us? What do we possess? So aspects. In aspects, we deal with the moon conjunct Mars, which deals with irritability, conflicts, and passion. We deal with the sun conjunct Mars, and deals with attitudes, invincible attitudes. I can do anything that I want. Accidents, anger, strong points of views, strong vitality or renewed sense of vitality, and sexuality and impulsiveness. So people can be more aroused, they can be more charging, angry, warring, or here to display these new attitudes or new identities that they now possess. So overall, it could be like sleeplessness. I've also seen like a lot of things for accidents in a lot of these placements where people can get into a lot of accidents by not being careful, but a lot of passion and wanting to persuade people with emotional acts. Strong, intense emotional acts out of the line of persuasion. We also have the moon opposite Uranus. People can be rash, moody, they want change, and they want excitement, especially from normal cycles or normal dynamics. I've also seen things where there's a lack of stability and a lack of certainty, and nurturing or comfort is unreliable, causing emotional outbursts. Downtime would be a main thing, but this could also be issues with behavioral and socializing issues. So sometimes this could show up with someone like having autism or different type of socialization triggers. Menstrual issues and fertility irregulatory issues, like something's off with pregnancies or something's off with periods and regulations. Sometimes it could be harder periods, harder labor and delivery. They can also be colic or intestinal issues, fluid containing and excreting organs, so organs that release something or excrete, like the bladder, the prostate, and the colon, and issues in blood pressure, like I talked to y'all before. So these organs can really be going through it because there's a holding on about all of this energy, these pains, these hurts, things that people have done to us that we want you to answer for what you've done. So also seeing things where people can override normal body functions, so they refuse to eat, they refuse to sleep, sometimes even people refusing or trying to push off dynamics of like even like maybe menstrual health, like people are willing their periods not to come at a certain time, but like very intense, very ferocious, out of the normal behavior. And so there can be a lot of temper issues with the heartbeat, breathing is irregular, anxiety. There could also be sometimes hereditary issues, stress, nervous tension, people being careless. Avoid overscheduling yourself or trying to quickly meet these new demands or this new lifestyle that you guys want to try to enjoy, because there could be a lot of accidents here. Let me see. Also, try to avoid too many demanding people as well, but cramps, wounds, getting hurt or injured like from wounds and stuff like that, and being clumsy, overall just ticks, a weird emotional ticks as well. But yeah, that's what you really see, gearing up with all of this energy, because as I said, somebody might break out into a fight. I definitely see a fist fight around the corner. Somebody want to smack another person. Is a very fierce, dynamic, because people aren't going to be taking that stuff no more. We're just not. Okay, so instructions on how to use the reading. This reading is made for rising signs. If you do not know your rising sign, you go to a birth chart calculator and you put in your date of birth, your time and location, and you're going to look for your ascendant, or you're going to look for, sometimes they have your rising sign, but it's going to be in the first house. You're usually going to see a 1 there. If you do not know how you're doing it or you're struggling, I will look it up for you. But you cannot see your rising sign if you do not have, your date of birth, your time, and your location. You may also look for your sun sign and your moon sign, but in that order. So rising, sun, and then moon if you want to do all three. But it's mostly just coming from your rising sign. Okay, so Virgo. Here we go. Dang, I was on the phone. I hope I didn't miss too much. Well, the good thing is you can always catch the replay. We was just going over just different types of, what was going on and what's the vibe of, what's happening with some of these placements. And, people just going, I just see people getting smacked, or, somebody going to jail, like, because it's a very fierce thing. That's kind of how things are moving right now. So I can see people, possibly going all the way to the floor with it, if they're not careful. But we just went over the aspects and the fixed stars, and we're just about to get into our rising signs right now, Jasmine. So if you just want to go back and listen to just the general aspects, because I will be talking about some more additional aspects just to give anybody any direction to avoid the shenanigans or the crazy stuff. But right now we're about to just talk about the rising signs. Okay, so for Virgo rising, this is going to be occurring in your 3rd house. And so this is going to be dealing with all this high energy is going to be in siblings, relatives, neighborhood, community projects, higher levels of communication. This is going to be good for test taking because you'll be more competitive now. And maybe you've learned something new, but errands can be an issue, like trying to run errands and quick getaways and sharing and gainful practical information. And maybe the practical information is surviving all of the shenanigans. But by next week around the 20th, because it'll square back on the 20th, we can be having issues around a new job or starting new relationships with coworkers or your boss. That's not bad, but really check your ego and possibly having to check theirs as well. This is good for new routines, pets, appliances, being of service. Possibly new rumors are being spread about you at that new job or new relationships or dynamics at work. Then you have the seventh house, which close relationships. And so partners and interactions with partners are focused. You have to deal with competitors, and you might have to learn how to compromise, and possible for marriage and engagement is a thing. And I think for you, where Neptune is in your seventh house. And so connections with other people are blurred at the time, and you feel out of sync with them as understanding eludes you. Love can capture your heart, but ask yourself and someone close to you whether it's real or merely illusions. Business partnerships and professional contacts can suffer from the same illusions. Drugs and alcohol can be a part of the picture. So with that being said, yes, Virgo risings is good. Y'all can make friends and stuff at work. But the problem is again, rumors could be spread and you might not be seeing everything clearly. So honestly, with any type of relationship, whether it's work or other people, really try to take it slow and just really see if you can find somebody who's good at advice, or maybe someone who has a better understanding, or they're a bit more practical, which is weird for a Virgo, but we all here. So maybe you can find a good way to deal with this, because you're already kind of possibly having new issues, and there could be with Lilith in your sign. There's a bit of a wrestling around how your new sense of self and integrating yourself with the status quo and your new sense of liberation. So there could be some issues because you have Lilith there, and so issues with analyzing things, issues with structures, and that can either be overdoing it, of being overly analytical, or just refusing to analyze or look at anything in detail at all. So for Virgo risings or anyone with predominant Virgo placements, I just want you to just think about that. You might have to find someone you trust to take a look at some of these things. But again, not seeing people or things clearly can get you in trouble and can get you gossiped about, and just overall just drama. Okay, for Libra risings, this will occur in your second house. Income can increase. You can also receive gifts, but watch your spending and watch your debt. When it flips back around on the 20th, this can occur in your sixth house a little bit. So new relationships with coworkers or boss, new routines, pets, appliances, being of service, possibly new rumors being spread, or people trying to talk about you or trying to figure out what's going on with you. But predominantly this is a fifth house situation. So socializing and romance and children, self-vision and personality will be the core of this dynamic. And I think that means it probably move your Neptune to the 8th house. Let me just check real quick. Yeah, so your Neptune will move to the not the 8th, the 6th house. So definitely having issues with work, and I think also possibly even some health issues as well, or maybe disillusionment with work. So health diagnoses are often difficult. You can be sensitive to medication, so watch what you take, watch what you drink, any type of drugs or your diet. Again, job disillusionment can drown you down. Do not seek a new position, because what seems like ideal might not actually be ideal, so we're not seeing things clearly. But this can be a positive use of trying to reimagine what works, or our daily routine, try to redevelop that. But this could be good for trying to tap into creativity or getting into creative markets, and possibly even romance, especially since it'll somehow positively aspect the 5th house, or we're getting into some 5th house dynamics as well. So maybe not focus so much on possessions and money, and try to focus more on romantic dynamics, and especially like the loss of income with Libra, or dealing with debt or things that we've lost, especially on that whole Taurus Scorpio axis. that we've been having these recent eclipses with. Just try to be happy, Libra. I know it's been a rough 2 years because y'all lost money. So, but really try to go be happy. Like, go be in love. Okay, so for Scorpio risings, like I told y'all last week, the eclipse in what is it, Libra, that occurred in your 12th house. And so, not last week, it was the top of the month, so maybe 2 weeks ago, but that occurred in your 12th house. And so you would have hidden information exposed, or people trying to reveal confidential information about you, or like new senses of self, or like new identities or hidden talents want to emerge and come out into the public and into the outer world. And so what I was telling y'all to do was try to take access, or like try to take stock of anything that happened in the past 6 months during this eclipse cycle, so we can be better prepared for this new eclipse cycle. Because come November, you're going to have a new moon in your first house. And so that gives you a whole new lease to initiate things. And so when you have a new moon in your first house, that's a lot of momentum and a lot of buildup that you have. So you'll be more popular. You can review your strengths, weakness, new hobbies, or change of appearance. So this would be a good time to do all of those things. But because it deals with like scorpionic things of like revenge and all this other stuff, there could be some issues where maybe someone has slandered you, where you want to seek revenge, or dealing with strengths and weaknesses, or new hobbies, or an appearance change that it came at people trying to do you dirty. So you might want to come back around for smoke. Just like how Libra was mad about losing money, and Virgo had some issues about people deceiving them, maybe asking people for their advice, they really wasn't like for you, or some type of weird dynamic. Maybe somebody did something and maybe you got a bad haircut, I don't know, but people are stressing you out, and it's been taking a wear and tear on how you look, how you feel, your strengths and your weaknesses, and overall your popularity, because people can be slandering you. So this will come back around the 20th. This can affect your 4th house, which is home, relocation, new members, improvement, family, and just anything that's hidden. It can also deal with childhood dynamics. But again, yours kind of tips a little bit into the 5th. So socializing, romance, children, self-vision, and personality. Again, go try to be happy. Please go try to be happy. Because I know for a Scorpio, y'all don't really try to take stuff laying down. So I can see like you possibly thinking about being petty, but really go try to be happy, because y'all actually could just move, get a new house. Things are looking up, possibly get a boo. Where Libra was definitely going to get a boo. But try to go be happy. Try to go be happy. Virgo got a new job. Y'all try or thinking about getting a new job, but like really try to be happy. I know that's a tall order because they keep starting with you, or maybe they don't like how you change. Maybe you change in a good way for Scorpio, and I've been changing in a positive way, or maybe a way that they don't like, and then they have an issue with me. But that's not your problem, because for Scorpio risings, the real issue is that Taurus changed. So the people that is in your 7th house under Taurian energy, they changed, and they're mad that they're trying to project it on you, say you changed. But like, you should just go move and lay up with your boo and tell them to kiss your behind. Scorpio wanting to seek revenge. You don't say, I know, ringleaders. Thanks for doing all of the signs. It's very much appreciated. I know. It be work, child. It definitely be work. I'm not gonna lie. But it does help people, so I'ma just keep on doing it. I might have to take a break soon. That's why I'm trying to get y'all at least a few weeks out, so I can finish everyone's schedules and stuff on time and decorate it how y'all like. But I'm trying to at least get y'all a few weeks early, so just in case somebody try y'all or try to do some weird stuff with some of these transits, because I was like, some of the transits are a little bit ghetto, so I might have to just come here and just do this up until November, so I could just knock some of this stuff out, and then at least y'all have it a few weeks ahead, so y'all don't have to worry about this. So like I said, for Scorpio, where you have Neptune is your 5th house, and so you attract love and romance, but matters of the heart can be colored with dreamy idealism. Protect your heart and your resources. This is a poor time for investment decisions, but excellent for creative endeavors. If you're a parent, keep a watchful eye on your children who can get involved with the wrong crowd. Also, lovers, y'all can also have lovers that get involved with people who are a bit unseemly. But overall, this is, if you're a Scorpio and you're with somebody and they already met the trustworthy mark, maybe you met them before this whole Neptune placement, which been kind of going on for a few years. This could be good for y'all to reconnect and be boo. But y'all really have to, I wonder how bad y'all want revenge. If you're willing to let it go and just go be happy, this is great. I would not try to do any type of new investments because you might not be all the way clear. If this was an investment you've been was trying to do, fine. But, you know, no new boos for Scorpio. But an old boo that's been there for a minute could be good, like a few years. You know, this is good. So y'all can, when people did all this stuff with y'all can go sit down and just be happy, you know. But I know that it's a Scorpio, so I don't know how applicable that is. I don't know, but y'all definitely have placements for romance though, guys, and to move or whatever. Okay, so for Sag is next. Take as many breaks as you need. Yeah, because that's why I try to put y'all a few weeks out, because I actually have to finish up some stuff for people who like did packages and then dump all of these notes onto Patreon, because I have to do I'm just going to be dumping on Patreon so y'all can have these if y'all want to review them or write notes on top of them, because sometimes people like that, and any other worksheets and stuff that I have saved to put onto Patreon. So that's what I'm doing. That's why I'm knocking y'all down to the 26th of November, so it just gives me time to just do what I need to do. So for Sag risings or predominant Sag placements, this will occur in your 12th house, and so y'all actually will be getting your new moon next month. But up until now, review some of the tea that's happened about confidential information on the past 6 months for Sag risings, because confidential information can leak. Hospital and psychiatric facilities can be a thing. Jail, hidden sides, hidden desires, hidden talents come out. Try to review everything that's been happening these past 6 months, because it's what, October now, September, August, July, June, May, sometime around May, April-ish. Something from there is going to peak next month for y'all. So y'all, anytime y'all have a 12th house thing, something is like tipping in your 12th, y'all, if y'all see that on the screen for any of your predominant signs, like you got a Sag rising, predominantly this is for Sag risings, but just say you got a Sag sun, y'all try to review anything that's been happening, but this is mainly for Sag rising. If y'all go through and y'all seen like I had made a new friend about 6 months ago, or I just started dating this person about 6 months ago, y'all might have to review some stuff with them, because like something could slide out, confidential information can leak. You like, what? And whenever like that month comes for that rising sign to have the new moon, so like next month we will have a new moon in Sagittarius. So the month before, which would be this month for Scorpio on the 13th, that's when it'll occur in their 12th. So by next month, or the month after, because this is October, but by December, because I'm talking about this placement is going to happen in November, but by December like maybe 12th, 10th to maybe like 14th, whatever hidden information is going to come, or like some shock, like it's going to peak or come out by then. And so then you're going to be like, what? So you try to go back at least 6 months. So yeah, so around April-ish for the Sagittarius, try to April, May-ish, try to review what really went down, because by the time December hit, everything's going to click. And like, I been knew it. I been knew you was, something wasn't right here, and I been knew, or like whatever this is going to like hit its peak by December, like the beginning of December, like it's giving first 2 weeks, you know. So just keep that in mind. Around the 20th of November, we're going to be dealing with home relocation, new members, a family improvement. Also could be dealing with childhood stuff, which makes sense because, you know, Thanksgiving's coming up. But we also deal with some sibling dynamics, distant relatives, neighborhood, community projects, higher levels of communication, good for test taking, running errands. quick getaways, share and gain practical information. And so this is where some of the contention with these new identities can be at. So anything on the screen is where some of the new contention for everything I read about what's going to happen with the new identities, people like getting into fights, being frustrated, like you have a new identity, they don't like it, or you come back for revenge because somebody did you wrong. Yeah, anything that's on these screens for your sign is where it will occur at. So for Sagittarius, some parts of it will be hidden, so it could be some plot adjacent dynamics. So people are plotting on you and you might not figure it out till December. But if you can review anything between now and like April, May, you could get ahead of the curve to nip some of the ish in the bud. We'll see. Now where you have Neptune, just put this in real quick, guys. Hold on. Okay. So for Sagittarius, this will occur in your 4th house. So this will deal with family affairs are confusing right now. It's tough to get a direct answer. Probably somebody lying or being sneaky at home. But try to be intuitive and look for true motivation and really what's beneath the surface. Also, try to take precaution against water related or water damage in your home. If you own a home and you have predominant Sag placements or you're a Sag rising, look for water damage if you can in your home. Maybe assess any type of water damage in your home. But be cautious with real estate purchases because there could be some deception there, or maybe there's water damage in buying a home or making these types of land purchases. Also, decorating can benefit this transit. So if you want to decorate your home, this can be beneficial if that's something that you want to do. So you might could be creative at home, or somebody a lying family member or someone stealing, or they trying to be sneaky. Sagittarius, just keep it in mind, you could be lying, sneaky, crazy people at home, Sag risings, stealing. Just keep that in mind. Water damage. So just if you're going to buy a home and you're a Sag rising, just look through everything before making purchases. Okay. Okay, so for Capricorn and for Capricorn risings, this will occur in your 11th house. And so social events, friends, networking, short-term and long-term goals, and anything that deals with teamwork can be an issue. We could be getting into like more hot dynamics in this stuff. So you possibly can look at some betrayals and friendships. On the 20th, it will double back around to your 2nd house. So this could affect your possessions, your income, and that can increase. You can also receive gifts, but watch your spending and watch debt. This could also spill into your 3rd house, which deals with siblings, relatives, neighborhoods, communities, projects, higher level of communication. Good for test taking, good for errands, quick getaways, sharing and gaining practical information. Now, as far as in where your Neptune is, that should be in your 3rd house. So in your 3rd house, misunderstandings can occur frequently, and you can easily slip into daydreams and wishful thinking. This is why you should pay attention to who your friends are, especially with these eclipses, which dealing with betrayal. We talked about the eclipses that we had a couple weeks earlier in October. So some of these eclipses deals with forms of betrayal, especially in some more higher up dynamics, or even like from parental placements, someone in power. We can get into a bit of a pickle here. So we can get like, I guess, parents, bosses, someone, higher up. But words can be misconstrued and taken out of context, especially in group dynamics or where you network, where you have met these types of things. So if you work a job where you can spend some of these things or tweak certain things that you say, it works for you. But if not, you get yourself in a lot of trouble. So just keep that in mind. I don't know, Capricorn. You know what? Y'all might have to lie. I know that sounds wild, but y'all might have to like lie or spend something. Mm. Okay, so for Aquarius risings, for you guys, this will occur in your 10th house. You want to move up in the world, in the works, in your career, promotion, praise, and you can have contact with the government or dynamics with your parents. On the 20th, it'll double back and hit your 2nd house and your 1st house. And so this will deals with possession, income can increase, free gifts, but again, watch your spending. This also could affect your 1st house, so popular. Review your weaknesses and your strength, your hobbies, or changes in appearances. So again, rising up, becoming more popular, being the more center of attention. But we also deal with 2nd house issues, so avoid final financial decisions and risk, especially risky investments, risky purchases. Day-to-day transactions can slip through your fingers. You can lose money very quickly, leaving you wondering what happened. But try to have faith that whatever you need will come, which Neptune is here. And also reassessing what you truly value in life and what you really want to possess or what's important in your possessions can be a thing too. You just have to keep that in mind when you're spending and seeing what's really important and what's really valuable to you. You know, y'all also could have lost money messing around with certain people, you know, because I don't know, like, let me see something, because y'all also could have like lost money fooling around with like authority figures or parents. Let me see something real quick. Yeah, like something about some authority figures or parents or like certain career things like could have had y'all lose money quickly. But also reassessing what's important to you and maybe making changes in these dynamics or making changes in at home could really help what's important and what's valuable to you. But y'all would have to look at your connection between parental dynamics, home dynamics, and your career to help you figure out where you lost money or where somebody could have stole money from you. Like, it's interesting, but you would have to see all of that, because there's definitely something there. All right, so for Pisces risings, let's get into you guys real quick. So for you guys, this will occur in your 9th house. So long-term plans, the future, getting contacted from people far away or from different cultures or you're not familiar with, legal or in-law issues, ethics, and personal truth. And coming to these personal truths. And this will be a combination for the Pisces risings because you guys are still trying to figure out who you are, where you stand, and also trying to demand more for yourself and work harder and towards some of these goals. I do say by the 20th, there could be some a little bit of confidential information leaked. Certain dynamics with the hospital, psychiatric facilities, or jail, or hidden sides, hidden desires, or hidden talents can come out like closer towards the 20th. And maybe even a rise in popularity, new hobbies, or change of appearance. But where we have Neptune in the 1st house, you can question your identity and what you really want, who you are. What's a new confident you can come out, or you can try to evolve these feelings and give yourself time to explore more creative versions of yourself than you really could have realized. But some of this can come out with your own personal truths and forms of communication, and maybe you change how you spoke, change where you live, like how you speak, where you live, change maybe some common information that you knew or what's familiar to you. And so because you changed all of these things, what's foreign or what's a personal truth or philosophy has changed, because what's familiar now is so different now. You don't live the same way, you're not the same way, so all of these things have changed. But this can also get people gossiping about you, leaking information about you. It can make you more popular, but we can have some issues around these types of things. We can also have issues with religious settings, issues with court settings, and possibly even issues with higher education or colleges and stuff like that, or traveling to unfamiliar places, or dealing in unfamiliar places, because we're trying to change what's familiar to us. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so for Aries risings, this occurs in your 8th house. And so it deals with your partner's money, what your partner owns, taxes, debts, inheritances, windfall. But beware of loans. Try to be careful with how much you take in for debt. Assessing, the money your partner owns. You can maybe get a windfall or get some money. Maybe your boo gets a raise and you can get more money, stuff like that. Maybe they get an inheritance, something, or, maybe they get their mom's house. I don't know. But something like that where you can, rise in money, or there's debt or taxes that you would have to sort through. There could also be some 12th house some slight confidential information leaked, especially in social events, social groups, by friends, networking, long-term and short-term goals, and teamwork. So be careful what you say or don't say to your friends, how much you say. Keep some of this stuff to yourself, because you don't want them, as the moon goes through, you don't want them leaking information about you or your partner out. That's none of their business. And solitude is really good. Again, this could be a solution for y'all, because that means y'all might just have to lay off with socializing. And I know that's a bit hard for Aries. Not saying they're like actual social butterflies. Not saying that. But not being able to rip and run around is a thing. But because that's really where y'all bag is at. Y'all like to adventure. It's not so much like I have to talk to somebody. It's more like I want to be adventurous, or take on new challenges, or like interact with different, things. But solitude can be beneficial, as you don't but try not to completely withdraw from everything. You can achieve positive results through meditation, spending time alone, channeling certain things, healing yourself, seeing what holds you back. But just spending time alone also could be spending time with a boo, being away from people, not being up in people's business, because some of your friends might start feeling tempted, like you tell them good news and then they run their mouth about something that you and your boo doing, or like something that's very intimate, because it can also be you get inheritance and then they start talking like it's none of their business. So like if you want to avoid all of that, you could just chill at home, try to just lay low, not be too up in people's face, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so for Taurus risings, this will occur in your 7th house. So close relationships and partnerships, and interactions with other people are the focus. And you have to deal with competitors, learning to compromise, possible for marriage and engagements. Now on the 20th, when it squares back around, there could be some issues where you want to move up in the works in your career, promotion, praise, can have contact with the government or parents. This can also affect your social groups, your friends, networking, short-term, long-term goals, or any place where you have to connect or network with people, or like sources of help. So let me see where y'all Neptune is to see where. Okay. So for Taurus rising, this will occur in your 11th house. And so you guys need to choose your sense of friends and who you ask for help in groups and networking very carefully. Well-intentioned or not, both can drain your energy and resources. Some will inspire new goals, but others will disappoint you or just deceive you and lie to you. Protect yourself from not being too trusting, especially if you have new people who enter your life. And help friends help themselves and not be an enabler. So, y'all just really have to just avoid certain things. Again, keep some of y'all information to yourselves. Taurus, y'all might have to reassess some of y'all friend groups, it could be a little, it's giving also like Aries rising or predominant Aries placements, which you have to watch what you say, because they can spill like intimate dynamics, or my partner got a raise, or I'm about to move into my boo house, her mom gave her house, or his dad say we can have this, blah, and they talking too much, or you ask somebody for help. So really, like, it's giving also like Aries, Taurus, y'all somewhere where y'all friends or where y'all network at, they just, something's up with that. Y'all just keep stuff to yourselves, keep some of y'all stuff quiet. I know, because you know what, I feel like Aquariuses have to, like, for Jasmine, like, Aquarius really would have to like check something about the family, and it's just not giving. I don't know who it is, but it's no. Bye. Peace. Have a good day. All right, so for Gemini risings, this will occur in your 6th house, and so this could be a new job, a new start in relationships, new co-workers, boss, but you have to check your ego, new routines, new pets, appliances, being of service, possibly rumors being spread. But on the 20th, this could go back to your 10th house and wanting to move up in the works, your career, promotion, praise, can have contact with parents or government in the 9th house. So this can also reassess your long-term plans, your future, what's familiar, what's unfamiliar to you, getting contacted from people who are far away, from other cultures, legal or in-law issues, ethics, or personal truth has changed. Something about you has changed. And this is really just going to change the whole mold or how you really look at certain things for Gemini. Let me see where y'all guys have Neptune. Okay, so for Gemini rising, you have it in your 10th house. You also have it in your 6th house. So this could be some slander information, So something about, because some of y'all could get slandered, but something about that Uranus in the 12th, like changes in the subconscious, changes in like maybe who you with, secrets, they can be revealed, or hidden factors can come to light. And as you go through this, you try not to want to share nothing that you don't want repeated. But also sudden insights about your life and other people can be shown as well. And maybe being more nervous or anxious. I think also, let me say this too, outside of like Gemini, but other placements, Gemini, you gonna be a little bit different because y'all do have Jupiter in your 12th, so that does give you some hedge of protections from secret enemies or people who want to gossip, because they're gonna try, but something like protects you from that. Okay, so that's like y'all kind of like a little bit different, because Jupiter's would be in your 12, so you do get some protection from hidden enemies or just haters. So just a little bit different. I mean, not saying they're not going to try, but you do get some, a little bit of leeway. With Neptune in your 10th house, this could deal with wanting to grow a sense of like being unhappy with your career or your reputation or where you are in the world. Could possibly also being unhappy with your parents, these types of things as well, or your career, or even like how people see you. The answer with this is if you keep your self or in a patient mode, or giving yourself the spirit of patience, you can just be able to get through this. Try to keep a tab on your career situation, and sometimes the reality could be different from what you observe and hear. So maybe you feel like, nobody like me, I got a bad reputation, my career kind of like messed up, but it's might not be as bad as you think. And honestly, there could be other pathways opening up for you that you might not know about. It's just you're not there yet. You don't see it yet. So maybe someone sees something in you, or sees something that they kind of want to get into, but it's not, you just don't know how it's going to get to you yet. So just keep working. Okay, but People could be trying to start trouble with you, but Jupiter's right there trying to knock off some stuff. Hey, Rockzilla. But yeah, I think, here we go, Cancer, and I think we have Leo left. Gemini actually wasn't that bad though, but Gemini's can be a little crazy. So for Cancer risings and Cancer placements, this can occur in your 5th house. So socializing, romance, children, self-vision, and personality. On the 20th, this will center back around and affect your 8th house, which is your partner's money, taxes, debts, inheritances, windfall. Beware of loans. Watch out for loans. And your 9th house, which is long-term plans, futures, plans, or the future is getting contact from people who are far away in other cultures, legal or in-law issues, ethics, or personal truth. So let me just see where all of y'all stuff are mapped out real quick for Cancer risings. Okay, so for Cancer risings, again, something about lovers and friends. I don't know. Something about lovers and friends could be a problem. Like, you got new friends, but they might not like your lover. Or your lover betray you. And it's something, because y'all do get a little bit of a lucky break with your friends. So something about lovers and friends, or your self-expression, and how you garner a sense of help. Like how you expressing yourself, or how you want to express yourself now, and how your friend groups, your social groups, or sources of help see you. There could be a bit of a rustling there, like they not really messing with it. And you have Neptune in the 9th, and so you're trying to find answers of the big questions in your life, your sense of faith, your personal philosophy, your spirituality, and you're kind of on a spiritual quest. Maybe travel, study, dreams can help shape your attitude and where you're going. Looking for a sign could be a thing. You can also discover new creative outlets, new hobbies, especially through spoken or written skills, or like publishing. But there could be like a lie from in-laws, the law. Maybe you feel deceived from like a higher education or a pastor, some things like that. But overall, like, it's pretty good. But wanting to get into a more sense of self, because this new personal philosophy makes you reshape who you keep as a lover, how you want to engage even in sexual energy, friend groups, how you ask for help, how you express yourself. It kind of, all of these things kind of change, and you don't really know what to do with it. Y'all kind of going through it. There's a couple of signs like Cancer, Aries placements, Pisces. Y'all are kind of going through Taurus. Y'all all kind of, there's a couple of y'all that's kind of going through the changes right now, and y'all really don't really know what to do with it. But Cancers are kind of going through personal choices and what y'all want to do. Because something about the friends and the lover dynamic, and what your partner got some money or something with your boo, and then your friends are involved, and then how do I feel? How do I feel ethical? What do I want to say? The Usher song. Yes, the Usher song. So it is something to that. Y'all might be changing friends too. It's actually a couple of people that might be changing or losing friends or switching up stuff. All right, so for Leo rising, this occurs in your 4th home. This could be relocation, new members, improvement, home improvement, family, and possibly your childhood or hidden dynamics. Around the 20th, this will affect your partner's money, taxes, debts, inheritances, windfalls. You beware of loans too. But this can also be the 7th house. So close relationships, partnerships, interactions are the focus, and you could have to deal with competitors. Learn to compromise, possible for marriage and engagements. So let me just see where all this stuff is mapped up in your house for Leo risings or people with predominant Leo placements. Okay, so for you guys, this could also be a family thing. A couple of y'all have some family dynamics y'all have to work out, but y'all can have changes in your career and reputation, or just wanting a new career in general. But there could be some deception, lies, and very dark manipulative themes at home, or possibly dealing with your childhood. And there could be a wrestle. There could be a wrestle, and it can affect your reputation, dealing with like very dramatic or hard things, and maybe people see you as doing better than what you actually are doing, so there could be a bit of a wrestle. But this will affect your 8th house, and there could be some issues with victim of fraud or significant misunderstanding, and you might actually get some answers from this, particularly it doesn't form difficult aspects, but someone trying to be a fraud or like misunderstandings, you can get into the bottom of, especially with money matters and intimacy and things what your partner owns. Y'all, if you are this placement with a Leo, check your credit reports, especially Leo risings. Check anything with money and make sure you're financially in sync. This could be an excellent time for studying occultic dynamics and trying to develop your intuition. There could be a strong gut intuition around danger. Okay, hold on real quick, guys. Okay, just a few couple things. So I'm just gonna wrap up a few contentious points. If you guys have any questions, please leave it in the chat. But this could be overall a good time for visualization, creativity, intuition, and trying to take aggression in strides in these areas that we talked about where you have predominant Neptune. And dealing with issues with vitality and immune resistance and breaks in consciousness. And it could be that people just need breaks from all of this stuff that they're going through. Romance could be good, daydreams, fantasies, going to concerts, the movies. But there could also be an issue with lack of emotional boundaries, or trying to produce some emotional boundaries. And that could be good because then you could go sit down. But this overall can turn energy from being a victim to being a victor. So hunches or instinctual gut instincts, and you pair them with facts, it can help you get to the bottom of these confusing times. So anywhere where I said you had Neptune, if you can put that with your intuition and try to look for some facts, you'll be able to get to the bottom of some of this type of conflicting energy. Helping others, being of charity, having charm, and being able to promote yourself in a positive light, or positive ideas around yourself, can be good. There could be some people that will struggle with whether to fight or surrender. Sometimes this can show up as paralysis or infections, or autoimmune issues, anxiety and guilt about whether you should defend yourself or fight for what you want. And this can center around fears of abandonment, and courage, and when to dedicate your courage to your beliefs. But overall, this is about people's redemption tours and fighting for something that's bigger than themselves and their egos. Redemption is externalized, and we no longer need to attack ourselves or feel harshly or more intense about some of these situations we've come out of, especially if we think back and see where the issue is. So where some of these issues are can center around it. But when we have Neptune, and we talked about what houses we have Neptune at, we can really turn ourselves from a victim, from a loser to a winner, if we really think about, not abandoning ourselves, thinking about where we can have redemption and where we can really fight for what we believe in, and fight for what we really feel, our own creativity and who we are as a person. So poetry, metaphysics, charity, community, these can be a thing. Being very sensitive and reactionary, that could be seen as a bad thing, but if you're trying to look for a solution or trying to sense what's happening, this could be good too, because then we can see people trying to convince us of dynamics that no longer suit us, or trying to sell us of things that no longer are applicable. You do have some bonus aspects where we have tact, grace, and charm. Communication, you can be good at communication and good with compromises, and we can get more positive financial news coming up, even with all of this difficult dynamics going on. Emotional validation can be a thing where we have to emotionally validate issues, and learning to do that, and learning about sincerity, learning about merging our head and our heart, learning about expectations and meeting the expectations of others, but also our own self expectations, avoiding distractions, gossip, mental curiosities, and speaking up and dealing with controversy in our own nonconformity, and learning what is a matter of taste, refinement, what is a valid criticism, and learning to change and exchange these things within ourselves. We also have learning to deal with negative self-thoughts and negative criticism, pessimism, and versus acceptance, and where we're being overly pessimistic about these things, and where we can learn to accept them and realistically assess challenges, and how we can realistically get over challenges without being overly pessimistic. So they could be slow to nerves, hearing, speaking, and aches. And being slow to speak and slow to react can be beneficial during this time. And really fighting to release the best versions of ourselves, our best intellectual versions, our best religious fervor or philosophical or personal truth, expansion or acceptance, and getting into new norms, or what is the new normal now. All of this will accumulate to these types of things, but you do have a little bit of things that we would have to clean up around the 13th, so that by the 20th, when we're here, we're dealing with remembering who we are and consciously accepting our own nonconformity around the 20th. And so when we're here, there could be a little bit of loneliness, regret, and guilt, and possibly meeting people from our past that we've been clearing away or trying to get away from, or reconnecting. I actually would suggest you guys to try to look for support around the 20th, and understanding reality and basically finding a support system that can help you understand reality and practically deal with emotional baggage in a healthy way, because change doesn't necessarily come without emotional baggage and processing these emotional things and changes. So this could be good for real estate, and there could be a strong fear and sensitivity around accepting these new roles, and also trying on new dynamics, or externalizing truths that we find evident within ourselves, but we're making them more present by externalizing them. So there could be some slow emotional responses, restriction in eating, controlling lunar responses, maybe some issues with sleep, water balance, bladder issues, membrane issues, late in space or painful periods. There could be some frustration and delays. Even when we are excited or pushing forward about these changes, there could be some frustration and delays. But we would have to need work on patience, hard work, and persistence. Do not take the easy way out. There could be some issues with bones and skin and inflammation, anemia, paralysis, breathing issues, stiffness, and gallstones. And the old ways, by the 20th, we realize that the old ways no longer work, and we're ready to let go of the past with new realities, newfound independence, and tear and breaks possibly in bones, joints. Hey, Topaz. Bones, joints, teeth, accidents, on the brink of change, and unconscious resistance to the new. And there could be some fear of inadequacies and burdening with new responsibilities. But overall, we'll be more open and more accepted, like in a more dynamic way, to accept these forms of changes within ourselves and be able to make these things happen. Hey, Topaz, how you doing? And also, if you guys have any questions, please leave them in the chat. And because we'll be winding down soon. But this is overall the vibe of what's going to be happening these next upcoming weeks. Any questions? Okay, let's see. So we have some new questions here. Just finished flapping an exam. I'm late, ain't I? It's okay, because honestly, I kind of was had to restart the stream more than once. So, I mean, you can always watch the playback. And sorry about you failing your exams. What can you tell me about fighting a dragon in a dream? Well, a dragon can sometimes be a representation of kundalini force, and so sometimes this can also be about sexuality, or sometimes spiritual connotations, or sometimes subconscious primal dynamics, especially if you're fighting your own dragons or trying to like set something free within yourself. You covered Sagittarius, right? Yes, I did cover Sagittarius. I covered that very early on. But again, guys can always watch the playback. So let me see. You said confidential information getting leaked for Sagittarius. Yes, I did. That is a whole thing. Also, guys, feel free to donate to my Cash App if you're looking for any of the packages getting done. You can also hit me on my Cash App, or you can message me here. For a reading, because I'm actually about to knock out a whole bunch of people's little itinerary things. So if you guys are interested, you guys can message me here, or you can pay me through Cash App, text me here, and then we'll figure out what you want done, because I'm about to just clear through a whole bunch of them. But yeah, honestly, you guys, if you're a Sag, you could have private information leaked soon, or confidential, or more like hidden forms of yourself can come out. And this could also possibly be like secrets. Sometimes it can show up as lovers. Thank you, Rockzilla. But yeah, this stuff could just leak. Because you guys will have to possibly see some dynamics about like maybe a lying family member, or some issues with like home, something about home and dealing with home dynamics. Any more questions? I really hope I got this thing I've been working towards. If I do, I promise after I clear some stuff, I'll be on it. Oh, you know what? That's sweet. That's sweet. But no, you guys, you should. Well, Topaz, you can't tell nobody because you're a secret agent, so you can't really tell anybody anything. You got a secret chart. But yeah, I'm definitely working on some things, and because you guys did ask, I am going to be working on some of the streams where we talk about what people been watching and reading and stuff like that, and we swap books and TV shows. So I will be working on that after I clear off some stuff, and we'll be just gossiping about what we've been watching. Hopefully by then I watch whatever that Generation V show is y'all told me to watch. And I think I already started watching that Jinjutsu show that someone told me to watch in here. I started watching that anime, so we'll be like going over some of the shows that we've been swapping and the books we've been swapping. And then by then maybe I can tell y'all about the list about the lady whose husband was on like one of those like lipstick alley, either like he was going to like prostitutes or something like that, or he got accused for like sexually harassing someone, and she tried to like not cover it, like whatever that book I told y'all about the last time. Hopefully I'll be done that by then, so we could like kiki about it. Okay, I hope it ain't nothing too crazy, because I got finals next month and I don't need this drama. Yes, Gen V, so we'll be doing that as well. What we doing for Halloween? Y'all want something for Halloween? You know what, I'll just do a survey. That's what I'll do a little question survey to see if y'all want something for Halloween. But all right, guys. So I just want to give a shout out to my patrons. You know, you guys have a little shout out screen. And, you know, thank you guys for coming. And I'll do a little thing to see what y'all want to do for Halloween. Okay? You guys have a safe night. Have a blessed night. And, you know, I will talk to you guys soon.